My name is John Hopkins. Today I'm going to go through and tell you about some of the lures we make with Hoppys lures. The first lure I'd like to talk about is the Rattling Brush Bug. The brush bug's made in four sizes, quarter, 3/8, and half. This particular version is a 3/8 ounce version. Interesting thing about the Rattling Brush Bug, it's made with a bullet head design. Unlike your Arky style heads or your football heads, the bullet head design will come through brush and buckbush, unlike any other jig. When you bring a round head or an Arky style head jig into a V of a tree or the V in a buckbush, it'll stick there, move in the tree, where the brush bug will just slide right through that V, making it more weedless in brush cover. It's also an excellent jig for swimming as well as for fishing crevice rock, limestone bluffs. This particular jig has a custom made hook. It's a 5/0 link with a 6/0 gap and a 10-degree open throat. The brush bug comes with a fiber 18,000th fiber guard. The fiber guard makes this thing extremely weedless. You get great hookups with the hook. It's a terrific jig for swimming, fishing in chunk rock, or fishing in heavy cover. This particular color is a green pumpkin. We make it in green pumpkin candy, 35 overall colors. This is a 1/2 ounce version of the Rattling Brush Bug. These are great for swimming outside the edges of grass. Won many tournaments on Guntersville with the Rattling Brush Bug, many high finishes. Just reeling, swimming this jig right on the outside of the hydrilla, actually watching fish run out of the hydrilla and eat it. The 1/2 ounce version, I like to fish super heavy cover, quite a bit of current. The 1/2 ounce version is the version to go to. A lot of times you'll get really heavy cover as well as heavy current, and you'll even beef it up to a 5/8 version. All the brush bugs come with the multi-directional rattle. This rattle rattles from side to side as well as up and down, so when this jig falls, it's always making noise. The brush bug is an excellent shallow water jig. If you're looking to fish shallow cover, flipping, pitching, swimming a jig, the brush bug's the way to go. Today I'd like to tell you about the Emeril blade spinnerbait. This particular spinnerbait is a 3/4 ounce version. We make these baits in quarter, 3/8, half, 3/4, and 1 ounce. This particular version is a tandem willow leaf. We make them tandem baits, tandem willow leaf, Colorado willow, single spins. This particular version, 3/4 ounce tandem willow, a four willow leaf and a 5 willow leaf. Make them in any blade combination. The 4 and 5 willow leaf, this is on a 0.035 wire, 35 thousandths wire, creating maximum vibration. Most of the spinnerbaits on the market are built on 40 thousandths wire or larger. While these baits don't bend and tear up quite as easy as this particular bait will, they won't catch near as many fish, and they won't come through grass as well because the lighter wire doesn't catch the grass. I was once fishing a BASS tournament at Guntersville, and with a well-known pro, it was an invitational and it was a draw tournament. In about the first 5 minutes at the area I wanted to fish, I had to limit my pro partner, who in an invitational you used to fish pro on pro. He wanted a spinnerbait similar to mine. He picked one up that had 40 thousandths wire on it. I was using the 35 thousandths wire in the Emeril blade. He kept asking me how I was possibly getting my spinnerbait through that thick grass, and he was unable to. The 35 thousandths wire made that happen. Had a high finish in that tournament simply because I was able to fish that bait slower through that grass than the average fisherman with the average spinnerbait. The Emeril blade comes with blades made of brass that are nickel plated and gold plated. You can get them in all nickel versions, all gold versions, or the combination of the two. Emeril blade comes with a standard Sampo swivel. We don't use anything but the best in this bait. All Sampo swivels, premium blades, as well as our custom made needlepoint mustad hook with an 1 3/4 shank. This particular bait comes with a 5/0 needlepoint mustad hook. All of our baits have extended shank hooks, needlepoint mustad. If you'll notice the unique head design of the Emeril blade spinnerbait, it has a flat backside and a weight forward design where the wire's bent in the head of the bait. The flat backside, as it comes up to structure, will cause the bait to bounce over the structure and not roll over on its side and hang up. If you're looking for a bait to fish in heavy cover, especially a spinnerbait, the Emeril blade's the way to go. If you're looking for a bait to fish around grass, the Emeril blade's also it. This is a terrific all-around spinnerbait. Today I'd like to run through the different buzz baits manufactured by Hoppys Lures. All of our buzz baits have specific designs, and all the baits that we make here at Hoppys Lures are made for a specific fishing purpose. First, I'll start with the Hog Buzz. This is a buzz bait that's made to fish in highland reservoirs or limestone lakes that don't have a whole lot of grass. If you'll notice the U'd wire on this bait, what that does is it causes the hook to stay lower in the water. You can see the U'd wire here. That keeps the hook down in the water, where when a fish hits it, the first thing he gets to is that big old hook. It comes with a 45 thousandths wire in the 3/8 ounce Hog Buzz that creates a whine when the bait's pulled through the water. This particular bait and all of Hoppy's has custom designed needlepoint mustad hook, and again with the U'd wire, the first thing the fish gets to is the hook. What that does, that avoids a lot of missed hookups where a fish knocks the buzz bait out of the water. This is the tallywhacker. It also has the U'd wire. The tallywhacker gives you the design to where, much like a head knocker, it has a knocking sound. It hits the clacker, giving you a knocking noise as it pulls through the water, with the U'd wire keep making sure that the hook is the first thing the fish gets to. Again, it has the same benefits as the Hog Buzz, and you get easy hookups. Neither the Hog Buzz nor the tallywhacker are made to fish in grass. The next buzz bait I'm going to show you is the Grassmaster. The Grassmaster is an 1/8 ounce buzz bait, and it's made specifically to fish in grass, especially soupy grass. A lot of times when you're fishing a rat in lakes such as Guntersville, fish will be on a frog bite, and they turn on that current and they just pull them out of the mat, or pull them out to the edge of the mat into the soup. This is a terrific bait for the soup. As you'll see, the bait doesn't have the U'd wire. U'd wires just really don't come through grass very well. So with the flat wire style, such as many of the buzz baits are made, and a head knocker design, it creates an incredible amount of noise. This version is compact and will cast really well on 15 to 20 pound line as well as braid. Won many tournaments at Guntersville and Old Hickory Lake on the Grassmaster buzz bait, and you will too if you like to fish soupy grass. Now I'd like to talk to you about the stroker jig. The stroker jig is a very technique specific jig. Many times people are out structure fishing deep. They'll fish a football head and they'll drag it along the bottom. And a lot of times the fish will suspend up off the bottom, and they can't get them to react to that bait drug below them. The stroker jig is made to stroke up off the bottom. You may stroke it a couple of feet up off the bottom. Sometimes you may just stroke it a few inches up off the bottom. What this does, as this jig is stroked up off the bottom, it will fall back to the ledge. It doesn't fly backwards, but it will fall 2 to 3 inches every 2 to 3 feet back toward the ledge. So therefore you cover every inch of the ledge as it's stroked up off the bottom. If you stroke it 3 feet off the bottom, it'll fall 3 inches backwards as it falls back to the ledge. Therefore, every inch of that ledge that you're stroking that jig over, you're covering it. If you'll notice, the design has the weight on the bottom of the hook. What that does is that causes that jig to fall slightly backwards. Again, with the stroker jig, we use a light fiber guard. The light fiber guard is made of 18 thousandths fiber and a needlepoint mustad hook. The unique hook design in this hook is terrific for long cast and deep water fishing. The stroker jig is something every structure fisherman needs to try. This particular jig is a 5/8 ounce model. It's made in half, 5/8, and 3/4 ounce, specifically for deep water structure fishing. Now I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about the Hoppys Arctic Fox Fly. The Arctic Fox Fly is made with a specially designed hook to accompany pork chunks to keep them from rolling over on the point of the hook. As you can see, the hook design of this will hold a 101 or 11 pork chunk and keep the pork from rolling over on the point of the hook. This particular jig is made with Arctic fox hair. The Arctic fox undulates in the water and is very bulky, as you can see. This version is an 1/8 ounce version. It comes with an 8-strand .018 fiber guard, all Arctic fox hair. You can see the highlight on the Arctic fox. That's done with craft fur. This is a black and chartreuse version. This particular bait comes in 1/8 and 1/4 ounce. Terrific smallmouth bait. On highland reservoirs such as Center Hill, good smallmouth lakes such as Percy Priest, this is a strong nighttime lure as well as daytime. The nighttime fishermen that fish these lures, they live by them. There are many smallmouth over 5 pounds caught every year out of Percy Priest Lake on this particular bait, and done so myself on many occasions. The Arctic Fox Fly has been out for several years. You can find them at Bass Pro Shops, Academy Sports, and any of your major retailers. Now I'd like to discuss the Hoppys Emeril Blade nighttime spinnerbaits. Your nighttime spinnerbaits are generally single spin spinnerbaits. The Hoppy spinnerbait comes with the Emeril blade. This blade has maximum vibration, unlike any spinnerbaits on the market. This particular blade has a flat area in front of the swivel hole. This flat area causes the blade to give a maximum vibration. Along with 35 thousandths wire, it's a terrific combination for nighttime fishing. The Emeril blade nighttime baits come in 2 versions, a long arm and a short arm. These baits, of course, feature the Hoppy standard needlepoint mustad hook with the extended shanks, as you can see. These accompany pork chunks as well as plastic chunks and make for terrific baits at night. This particular version of the Hoppys bait is a frog head version. What the frog heads do at night is it's a raise and fall presentation. You want to keep these baits as close to the bottom as possible. Unlike the daytime where we use a flathead spinnerbait, these baits are wanted to rise and fall. As you reel these baits and drop them, on the falls where you're going to get the hit. Where a flathead spinnerbait, as you pull it through the water, it tends to rise, or a round or a cone-shaped spinnerbait, they tend to rise. If you'll notice, you have eyes on this bait that tend to keep the bait down. You can see the head design and the eyes on the bait. These tend to keep this bait lower in the water and prevent it from rising. A weight forward design, as in all of the Emeril blade spinnerbait. Of course, they come with 35 thousandths wire and a Sampo swivel. As in all the Hoppys lures, everything there is in Hoppys is made for fishermen by fishermen. They're all technique specific, and if you incorporate them into your techniques, you'll become a better fisherman.